Okay, this is day number 160 of the day or thought in the life of a schizophrenic. My name is Dominic, and I make these videos to describe some amount of sanity amidst the world going crazy and warring on me and telling everybody that I was diseased or crazy. I don't believe I am diseased or crazy, but that I am subject to what NATO terms a cognitive war, what the Joint Indian Chiefs of Intelligence describes as neurostrike weaponry. I have been day 17 of these videos described why I call myself schizophrenic rather than targeted individual. And on day 45, I describe why I make these videos in the first 3-minute intro. And on day 138, I think it is, I give some of my symptoms of schizophrenia. There's a lot that's kind of extensive, and but that's not all of them. And yeah, so okay, I guess I'll start off today and say the reason why I'm starting the videos up again is seems like it's fire season, and I like to document when they start the fires based on things I do in my house. Today's fire is called the Sandy Fire. Uh, today's fire is called the Sandy Fire. It's in Simi Valley, and there were firefighters in this grocery store buying the food that I was wanting to buy. And last night I ate some ravioli late at night, and that's kind of how the fire started last year, or not, about a year and a half ago now. But they kind of do it arbitrarily, like some days, sometimes they'll just decide, they're trying to change your behavior or they modify your behavior, so they create some sort of pressure on you to modify or make you feel responsible. They like to make you feel responsible for disasters in the world, even though they have their own reasons why they want to do them, and they'll do the fire. There's another fire thing that just went off. They'll do the fires, but they decide they're going to coordinate it with your actions to make you feel like it's your fault or something. And this next fire is called the Burro fire. Sandy fires, you better shape up like grease lightning. They're saying this like Sandy woman is like, they're saying you better shape up, or and then like the Burro fire is because I ate a burrito, and uh, yeah. So okay, I had been walking about 10, 12 miles a day, trying to drop weight, and it's kind of worked, but it didn't work in the sense that I got really tired, and so I'm now trying to just cut food consumption. I think that might be the better way and not do so much walking, but it's kind of fun to do a lot of walking and you can eat a little more. So if I'm gonna eat a little more, I'll do more walking. If I'm gonna eat less, I'll do less walking. So I think that's safe. All right. So I was watching the news this morning, and a KTLA has that guy that I have said in the past. I don't know if I said it here or where I've said it, but his name is Andy something. I don't know, but when I have my hair grown out and stuff, he kind of looks like me, or like they're trying to bug me and say like, "Oh, this you're like this Andy guy," and so they're saying like you're Andy, and uh, yeah, uh, yeah. I guess that's all I can say about that. But he was on the news and he made this statement, and it comes kind of through the television a lot when you listen to like corporate news stations and stuff. And this is a local station, but it's owned by I think Nexstar or something. Got bought out by Skydance. I don't know. And he was saying that by every metric, Los Angeles is terrible. I think that might be his exact words. I don't know. And so I thought about it, and I was like, it kind of struck me as like I'm kind of sick of these trumped up narratives about California and Los Angeles, or like cities in California and everything. And it's like, we're not all sitting here and thinking, God damn St. Louis or God damn Kansas or something. But it seems like there's like this drumbeat from the presidency that's like, damn these liberal places or something. And so I was thinking about it, like, by every metric, supposedly, Los Angeles is terrible, and just the whole narrative around it. And I had this thought, I'm going to share it, and I said the market can't always be right, but then put home values at 1.5 million to $2 million in Los Angeles if by every metric it's terrible. Profit can't be the great motivator except when you are forced to move to Kansas. So profit is the great motivator except for when I'm forced to move to Kansas. Now all of a sudden profit is a problem. And then they come in and they say like it's the anti-capitalist sentiment in California, which is causing all the problems or whatever, and property taxes or whatever and everything. And so, just going into the metrics, like homicides are at 60-year lows. Uh, Property crime and burglaries are, I guess, from what I've read, are at like decades lows in California. And so, uh, then they'll say things like, it's property taxes, which is causing prices to go up. And property taxes don't make a home $2 million, okay? And it doesn't really have anything to do with the price of the home, except for the fact that the market actually values property taxes because taxes go into creating a better environment, and the market boosts the cost of the housing and boosts the market for the housing due to environmental positive aspects of the environment, which people argue is helped by taxes because if you tax, like, New Jersey has good property value because it taxes for schools and they have the best schools in the country, or and so it just the notion that property taxes are a problem for the market is not really true, or so. But in any event, it's not $2 million because of a property tax. It's $2 million because the market set the value at it, and we do everything for profit. And so, if you're not acknowledging that a big problem is the capitalism, and then you're saying like, oh, it's because you're anti-capitalist or whatever, or you regulate, and okay, you maybe some regulations you can talk about, like, but be specific about it. Like, I don't like when Rick Caruso gets up there and he says stuff like, we're overregulated, or just beating this drumbeat of like we got to deregulate, deregulate, deregulate. And you just take a look at like last decade, and you go to Haiti, and 200,000 people died there due to earthquakes because they were completely unregulated, and they had we America supported dictatorships in that country that deregulated the whole society. And when an earthquake hit, all the buildings crumbled. For decades, they built without regulations. So, uh, not to, and then there's other factors. But anyways, so I just was struck by that narrative on the news, and I was just saying you got to be careful about the narrative that you listen to on corporate news media because they have an agenda, and it's, I guess I'm pointing out that it's probably related to deregulation of the economy and cutting taxes for mega millionaires and everything. And so then you see what's going on with Mom Donnie in New York. He's balancing the budget and everything, and you're like, I guess they're worried that something like that could happen in California, and so they're they're trying to beat this drum beat that like, well, that it's so bad or whatever. And so I was just pointing out like, okay, these are the same people that point out that the market is always right, And so is the market wrong when it sets the property value in California at $2 million, or is it because it's got a lot of positive aspects to its environment? And there's a lot of positive qualities to the state and to the cities that are valuing their homes at 1.5 to $2 million. And so it's, if that's not a factor, then I don't know, then maybe why are we even having this conversation that the market should be the arbitrator of everything? So I don't know. When you follow it through, like the ideologies don't make sense, and we should probably be interfering and regulating whether or not corporations can purchase houses, and we should probably be building houses not for profit through government programs like they did after the GI Bill or whatever I think it was. In but I don't know. That could be up for debate, I suppose. But and then homelessness, it's like uh, homelessness is a direct result of capitalism and the market setting the price for the nice environment at such a high rate, and it prices people out that can't afford it. And but one of the reasons why we have homelessness is because it's very nice to be here, and so some of the positive qualities actually create the homelessness due to the market being the arbiter, and so uh, that's kind of what I wanted to point out. All right. So I haven't been doing my reading because I've been in my class. I'm about to get an A in my class. Not that it's that big a deal or whatever, but like uh, I have one more week and then I'll have some time to do these videos, which is why I'm starting them up. I'm pretty much I've got the A in the class. I don't need to focus on the class right now. So I decided to start these videos again, partly because of the fire today, and I just wanted to document fire, and it seemed like it's probably a good idea to start these videos for a moment or whatever moment in time. I guess I go back to these videos and it's like it documents a moment in time while being schizophrenic. And so one of the things that happened today was on, I guess it's May 18th, 2026, and Trump decided to promote May 17th. Well, I guess yesterday he was doing this. That which is kind of interesting because it's linked up to a date that I had written on my blog or something about the 700 Club. Yeah, the 700 Club, Pat Robertson. I remember it was May 17th. I remember the date. Yeah, I think 2011 or 2011, I think it was. And it was all during the Libyan bombings and everything. And Pat Robertson was basically saying this like racist, white supremacist thing on his program. He was intimating that we are the best race for the future of the world or whatever, or something to that degree or whatever. We are the people, we are the race of people that should control the world. He was literally saying that in the middle of this war push. And so I always remember that date, and I think it's interesting that Trump renounced, I think, right around this date or whatever, that he's going to be putting $1.8 billion to a fund to support people that were in the January 6th insurrections or people who were targeted by the Biden administration. Now, I was targeted by the Trump administration, the Obama administration, and the Biden administration. So I was wondering, like, am I going to get some of this? And so I doubt it. And so they're going to keep saying that you're schizophrenic and everything. And like I say, go to day 138 of these videos and you will see all the symptoms that I have, and it's very much in line with schizophrenia. And I've been diagnosed with schizoid affective disorder because I've been warred upon through a cognitive ward to give me schizophrenia. And anyways, so yeah, so the Trump administration targeted me in cahoots with Biden and Obama. And that kind of gets into the fact that potentially I think that Trump is doing the dirty work. He's doing the bad cop routine for the government, and maybe they wanted to do austerity and everything, but I don't know. So that's my thought. I think that sometimes I don't know if it's good to share it here, but anyways, so yeah, Trump announced that he's setting aside $1.8 billion for a fund of people that were targeted by the Biden administration. And I'm saying that I was targeted by Trump, Biden, Obama in cahoots. And they're going to say I'm schizophrenic and crazy. And I am schizophrenic and I am a little crazy now that I have been warred upon. So I have like this crazy. I can't go about a regular day without some sort of pressure being inflicted upon me or whatever. Like for instance, the fire or whatever. Like yeah, because I ate a burrito or burro, like the donkey fire. They're saying you're a Democrat or whatever, so they started the fire and yeah. Okay, I got a little bit of time here. I'm gonna add one more thing. I guess I'm out of. Uh, okay, so Elon Musk. I guess I could talk about this. Is something that happened in the recent days of my schizophrenia. Elon Musk said that the Odyssey, and I'll point out that the Odyssey Dawn was relevant to my programming where they started the Odyssey Dawn operation in Libya, I think, to overthrow Gaddafi. And it was in part to send me on this schizophrenic path. And then they come out with this movie all these years later. And so I don't know if there's going to be little like information, secret information in the movies or something. Because when you're schizophrenic, you get all this coded messages and stuff, like I was saying with the Burro fire or the Sandy fire or something. And you get all these like coded messages and everything. And Odyssey Dawn was to send me on the schizophrenic path or to drive me crazy and discredit me and stuff. But anyways, Elon Musk was saying that like, oh, they should have their racial makeup of the cast should be in line with the times or whatever, or like historically accurate. And I don't know how he knows what the historical accuracy of the race of the people in the Odyssey necessarily were, but because it's been translated over the years and everything, and uh, I think it was written like how when was that? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was thinking like, what even was it? The racial makeup of these mythologies or whatever. Or like, where did the mythologies come from? And just because Homer wrote it 2,000 years ago or something, or whenever he wrote it or whatever. And so you don't really, we don't I don't know if we can even know if it with accuracy what it is and more total accuracy, and so it doesn't even appear that it's necessarily relevant to the story. So uh you know culturally and uh socially we should try to incorporate diverse casts, in order to bring everybody into the fold of a shared cultural item in a movie or whatever. So it's like it's good to have diversity if you're trying to imprint. I mean, it's that's what film is. It's like it's a cultural item for people to digest and think about and uh, kind of kind of digest and incorporate into the cultural edifice of the society. So it's good to have a diverse cast when you can. Like some things are going to be like more historical accurate or whatever. Like, for instance, I think there was a few years ago, there was a movie about NASA, and it was talking about the people behind NASA, these black women or whatever. the mathematicians or whatever, and so like you want to be historically accurate in that case, and you're going to want to make those characters black. Okay, so it's like for some things you want to be historically accurate because it's relevant to the story, and so yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop here, but it's kind of stupid that we even have these conversations, but I guess you gotta have them a little bit. And I'm not like I know a little bit, but I'm not like a scholar in these areas or whatever. I did, I just know from experience, as a person in society and stuff. So that's what I was gonna say right now. Okay, goodbye.